Hello everybody, it's the Geek Guy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Star Wars The Vintage Collection figure. Today's video will be about the Star Wars Vintage Collection Luke in his X-Wing pilot uniform. As you can see, I've already removed the figure from the packaging. I got this figure probably a couple days ago. I didn't get this on Force Friday. My Walmarts and local Targets don't even participate in Force Friday. So, which was a little bit upsetting, but they eventually put the stuff out. So, taking a quick look at the package here, as we can see, we get this really nice photo of Luke in his, his pilot outfit, climbing the X-Wing from A New Hope. This is based off the original Kenner A New Hope collection, or as they were just called back then, Star Wars. As you can see, you got the Kenner logo, you got the nice bubble. For some reason, it's not closing too well right now. I think that paper is blocking it, the little paper slip in there. That paper slip I won't even be taking a look at. It's all legal stuff. I thought it was like a promo, like what came with the old Ninja Turtle figures, but nope. Turning it around, as you can see, we get the other figures in the line. We get Knight of Ren. I believe there's more than one of those figures. I'm not really sure which one. I know he has like the long axe, but I'm really not sure which figure is, like, if there's more than one or if it's just speculated. We get Zori Bliss, Rey, Sith Jet Trooper, and Poe Dameron from the Episode 9 line. Boba Fett from either The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. Imperial Stormtrooper from Rogue One, but he's just an Episode 4, 5, and 6 Stormtrooper. Chewbacca from Episode 4, Luke, as we've seen here, and an R2-D2 from, I think he's carded as Episode 4, but I think he's actually supposed to be Episode 5 because he's all grimy and stuff like that. Because I don't remember him being, like 99% sure he's not a single character. I think he's on the this card, the Episode 4 card, but he's all grimy and stuff. I think it was just a little miscalculation on Hasbro's part. So anyway, as you can see, there's just like a nice little bubble card. You get the helmet, the figure, and the gun. So that'll pretty much be it. I really like this packaging. I love the vintage collection packaging. Only problem is it has a tendency to bend. I just found this in a display, like a cardboard display at Walmart, and yeah, it's all bent. It's pretty shot up. So I don't really think I'll be keeping it around. But that's okay, because we have a fantastic figure. Let me get him and take off his accessories. We can just get a good look at the figure. And here is Luke. The camera's trying to move. Here's Luke in his X-Wing fighter outfit. I kind of have him posed. His helmet fits right here, and then his gun. Let me put that down. So, taking a quick look at the details, he is mostly an orange jumpsuit. This is a 3 3/4 inch figure, by the way. I know that's probably pretty obvious, but just to specify, he's in his nice orange jumpsuit, and I'd like to talk about the jumpsuit in a little bit. But right now, we'll just kind of go over the details. Firstly, is that photorealistic face, which looks fantastic. It really looks like Mark Hamill. Let me pull in the card back. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. Maybe a little bit too blonde, but really not too much to worry. Only problem I can see with it is that he's kind of like looking up at something. His eyes aren't really center, which isn't a big deal, but it is kind of annoying, I would imagine, especially if you're trying to do photography or whatever, or if you really like it making these accurate displays. But for me, it doesn't really matter, but that should be of note. We have some, I think those are supposed to be tools in his little side pouch. We have the breathing apparatus, the white pad, the black gloves are all there. That little, I'm going to guess and say that's like an oxygen hose, is what I would imagine that'd be. And we have like the little flight harness. And what I like, and I don't have him on hand, he's up in a bin somewhere, is the Biggs Darklighter from the Black Series line, and I can never remember the other guy's name, but from the 3 3/4 Black Series line, had these really huge gray, like this harness right here. They're really bulky and stuff, and I believe the AT pilots also kind of suffer from that. Luke has these much thinner ones, much smaller. They don't hinder the articulation as much, and we will be getting into the articulation right now. So Luke is a vintage collection figure, hyper-articulated, so ball joint in the head. Now actually, the ball joint has one in his head, as you can kind of see there, and he has one in the neck. And so that just kind of plugs in there. So he's kind of like two ball joints where he can kind of move around at the base of the neck and in the head. So you can get a really good range of motion right there. He's just got a regular standard joint at the shoulders. He's got a standard elbow joint. 360-degree rotation at the wrist, and the wrist does not have a hinge, but it can move all the way around. It's got a nice ball joint in the upper torso. Doesn't have a rotation right here, I don't believe, and if so, I don't think it would really matter because of that sculpting right there. And then he's got, of course, this flight harness is going to hinder how much he can move out. he can't really move out because that's hindering that. I don't really think there's also a way to take that off, but I mean, for realism, I really can't say anything bad. Now, to sit the figure up, let me pull him off camera really quick. You basically have to twist this right here. It's like this lets him go out. You have to twist that, pull straight up, and rotate the foot. So I feel like he sits much better than older super articulated figures, and I like the system more. And he's got the 90-degree bend right here. And to finish off the articulation, he's got the boot cut, or he's got the hinge on the boot, which lets him go up and down. But I think I like this system more because other joints were like really gummy and had to like rotate them and they didn't look right. This looks a lot better in my opinion. Let me get to a full sitting pose. And of course, if Luke couldn't sit, then there wouldn't be a whole lot of point in buying him because he wouldn't be in the X-Wing. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's not as perfect as it could be, but you can sit him in a chair. You can sit him in the cockpit easily. And, you know, the cockpit would more be like that. Yeah, that. So, yep, I honestly think it's, you know, the articulation's good enough. And to put it back to regular, just gotta do that, twist the boot. Gotta do that, twist the boot. So, articulation is superb. I think there's a lot of good poses you can get out of him. Let's see if he'll stand. Yes, he does stand. So, moving on to his accessories. So, like, that's the figure. I really like it, the articulation stuff. But moving into the accessories really cement this figure. Now, of course, he is pilot Luke Skywalker. And he wouldn't be a pilot without a helmet. So, let me bring that in. It's really nicely done. It's got that lenticular, or, you know, the lens of the helmet is really nice. Got the Republic symbol. He's got the red 5 logo. It's really nice. And, so you can see it does fit onto Luke. It's not just an accessory. Let me pull him off camera. Oop. It's a whole lot easier to get work with smaller action figures off camera. So, here we are. And it fits extraordinarily well on him. It looks like it was supposed to be sculpted onto, or should I say, it looks like one of the, you know, how like the original counter was originally sculpted to him. I mean, it just looks really good. So, and you can pose him the X-Wing. Sadly, I do not have the X-Wing. I don't have any X-Wing on hand right now. But as soon as I get one, I'll definitely be putting him in there and showing that off. So the helmet looks really nice on him. His hair kind of sticks at the end. I'm not really sure if that's movie accurate or not. I'd have to rewatch. I don't really think you see him from the back anyway, though. So bringing his next accessory, and it's really small, so let me see if I can even get it on camera, is his blaster pistol. As you can see, the grip is brown, and it's got the silver, it's black right here, and I believe this is based off of a World War II Mauser, it looks like, with like a scope attached and like this muzzle brick at the end. So it's got this silver muzzle thing, it's got the brown grip, and it's got the scope on it, and Luke, thankfully, has a sculpted trigger finger. So let me take that off and put it in his hand. Here we go. And he holds it very well. It's not falling out. Okay, so, and you can get him into all kinds of really good shooting poses. I specifically really like this figure. I think it's a really nice rendition of the Episode 4 Luke. But I really wanted it because I just recently acquired a Yoda, which I will be definitely doing a review of, the original trilogy collection Yoda. I only had prequel Yoda figures. Original trilogy is really hard to find in a realistic, articulated sense. I mean, like, you can get Power of the Force ones for less than $10 all day long, and they're nice figures, but they don't really fit well with vintage collection or, you know, like original trilogy collection and stuff like that, which is what I primarily try to collect. Except for Power of the Force Aliens. I love Power of the Force 2 Aliens. Those figures are fantastic. Like the Hammerhead, one of my favorite figures of all time. But I digress. So, what I was attempting to say was, you can put him in the X-Wing. You can put him in the Episode 4 X-Wing to do the trench run. You can put him in Episode 5 on the way to Dagobah. And on Dagobah, the only difference between this and Episode 5 Dagobah, I believe, is the fact that on Dagobah, he takes off his gloves. And honestly, I don't care enough to buy another figure without the gloves. This is fine enough. I can pretend he doesn't have it on for the purposes of display. And of course, you can use it in the Episode 6 Luke when he's on his way to Dagobah to meet Yoda again. But then, you know, unfortunately, Yoda kind of passes away. But, you know, this will work for all the movies if you don't care about, like, a gloves. The only thing is, I don't believe this works. I think the Snowspeeder version is a little bit too different. And from what I can tell, the Snowspeeder version in specific has like the shirt is not like, this is like one piece, like a jumpsuit, and that one it seems like it's pants and a shirt that comes down and it's like warmer, and I think it's got like a hood in the back and stuff. So you could put him in a snowspeeder, of course, but I think I still think if you wanted to get the snowspeeder Luke, you could justify that purchase. They don't have it put out one yet. The only reason this figure came out, this figure is part of a 3-pack with Jedi Destiny, which was Stormtrooper Luke, this Luke, and then Return of the Jedi Jabba's Palace Luke, which was a re-release of the Black Series line, which I believe was a re-release of the Vintage Collection line. But of course it was photorealistic and they fixed some problems with him, specifically the cape and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to Stormtrooper Luke when that comes out, hopefully. And I already have Jabba's Palace Luke, but if I found him cheap, I'd probably buy the new one too, just because he has like the nice cape. I think he comes with like the blaster and stuff. So I'm going off on a tangent, but I really do like this figure. It's an excellent figure, and I believe the only reason that he got released first out of those three, if they're planning to do Stormtrooper Luke, because you would figure that they would put him out with Stormtrooper Han, because that was the Target exclusive one, which you can see on my channel. I do have that figure, and I have reviewed it. But this one is going to be perfect for that X-Wing that comes out, and it's going to look you could probably even put it in that Poe Dameron X-Wing, because you can get the Luke Red 5 X-Wing and the Poe Dameron. And you could probably put him with the Poe Dameron one and it'll look fantastic too. So anyway, that's going to pretty much wrap up my review. I know this review was kind of a tangent-y, but I really like this figure. I'm just really hyped for Star Wars again. As you guys have noticed, it's more been Godzilla reviews lately, and I'm not done with those. I'm trying to work on finding the Mechagodzilla, the Walmart exclusive one, because I really want that one, but they're very hard to find. I've only ever seen Mechagodzilla once, and I didn't pick him up. I picked up Ghidorah because I felt that I needed him more. And I think there's a Mothra in that line. I swear I've seen a Mothra, but I've never seen her again. And that was in, like, February or something like that. That was a long time ago. Going back to the Vintage Collection, going back to Star Wars, I have the Hoth Han in his Mechanics outfit from Episode 5. I'm hoping to get reviewed, and of course that original trilogy collection Yoda, and I'm hoping to get him reviewed, and probably some more stuff leading up to Disney Plus, like The Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker. You'll probably see more Star Wars emphasis on this channel, to address the fact that I haven't been uploading in a while, I've been working on some projects. I got a possible podcast coming up with some of my YouTuber friends, and I've got some other ideas in the works and some other stuff like that. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and get back to figure reviews as much as possible, though. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, what are your thoughts on this? Have you picked it up? How was your Force Friday experience? I'd really love to know that. Because some people had really great Force Fridays and went to all these stores. Other people did not. So I would really love to hear that. And of course, subscribe and all that YouTube jazz and stuff like that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.